Hey everyone, it's Serica. Welcome back to the studio. Today I've got a really fun video featuring Arteza products. I have this really cute miniature watercolor sketchbook, and I also have the regular one here. I'm going to be using the Arteza Gouache to paint some miniature paintings of winter foliage, winter berries. It's kind of like this idea that I had, and I thought it would be perfect to kind of do them in this very small 3.5 by 5.5 inch sketchbook. Let's open up the watercolor sketchbook first. So this one is 110 pound paper. It's cold press and it's dual-sided, which is interesting. It's acid-free, which is good, and it's natural linen bound. It's got a pocket, ideal for watercolor and mixed media. So I'll be using gouache today. First off, I really like the cover. It's this fabric that's linen. It feels really nice, and I love the texture, and it's hardcover, very sturdy, feels sturdy to me. Inside, we've got a place to write your info, and then right away, I can tell that the paper is a little bit off-white. I don't know if the lighting is kind of indicating its true color here, but it's nice, I think. It's a nice color. It's not like pure stark white, but it's just slightly off-white. So the texture is cold press. Cold press watercolor paper has a little bit more tooth to it, a little bit more texture than hot press. It says it's dual-sided, but I will tell you right now, right away, this side is smooth, way smoother than this. So it's like it alternates between rough, cold press paper, and then the back side of the paper, which is smooth. And then this is rough. 2 smooth pages, 2 rough pages here. I think that's a little bit of a discrepancy because on the jacket cover it says that it's dual-sided. I don't know, I wouldn't describe it as dual-sided. I'll just say that right off the bat. And then it has this ribbon here for a bookmark, and it's a pretty good ribbon. Also, there's a sealant on the end. You know how sometimes the ribbon bookmarks, they don't have the sealant and then it frays a lot? That's the opposite of this. This is good. I like those small little details. And then in the back, there's this pocket here made of plastic, and it expands. So you can see that it could probably fit a whole bunch of little scrap papers. All right, so that is the ribbon that holds it together, or the elastic band that holds the notebook closed. I really like that too. Let's see what the regular one looks like. So this one's got 88 pages, and it's acid-free, heavyweight paper, 118 pounds, and it's ideal for a variety of dry media, and it also has a pocket in the back. Definitely not linen, of course. I don't know what this is. This feels like wood fibers, maybe. It's kind of cool. Also very sturdy cover. Yeah, the pages are really thick for a regular sketchbook. I want to compare it to the color of this sketchbook though. This is definitely more of an ivory. It's more yellow than this one. I prefer this one because even though it's not completely pure white, it's not as yellow as this one. Ooh. I don't know about that. It looks like the binding is coming off just a little bit there. And another feature of sketchbooks is I really like it when they're able to lay flat. And to me, it does lay pretty flat. So to begin the project, I just wanted to loosen up with some sketches, and the paper was fine. It's very textured, so I like that, so that you can create like very dark lines, and it grips the graphite really well. For my purposes, if I just want to do pencil sketches to loosen up in here, it's just really, really, really good. And I think that I don't mind the creamy color of it now that I think about what I want to use this sketchbook for. Even ink and brush pen works pretty well on it. It doesn't show through on the other side. Overall, this is a very handy little sketchbook. I'm just a little worried about the binding because it just seems to split apart a little bit when I lay it down really flat. All right, so I just did some quick like holly berries and pine cones and what is it called, mistletoe and things like that. And I just wanted to get those shapes out there so that I can do some gouache paintings of these. And now let's take a look at the gouache. Holy moly. So I have a set of 60 gouache colors, and this is a lot of gouache right here. So they come in little trays like this. I'm just gonna pull them all out, and then we'll talk a little bit more about what gouache is. So I did not do all 60 colors in the swatches. I just did a few color palettes that I thought were pretty together. And with the 60 colors, of course, you have all these colors pre-mixed already. It's definitely one of those things where it's very convenient to have. If you're someone who's interested in learning about color theory and mixing, I suggest just getting a set of primaries and a good mixing set of gouache to start off with. But this is for people who like convenience and they like having all their colors pre-mixed for whatever project they're using or in their journal or for design. And so that is why I did these color palette type of swatches. And also some of the colors are pearlescent. So any of the colors that say pearl on them, they have a shimmer and they're actually really, really beautiful. I love the bronze color in particular and also pearl white. Those are really nice. And I'm gonna be using bronze today to add a pop of fun and glitter to my little winter foliage paintings because these are just for fun, so why not add some glitter? I've preferred watercolors as my main medium for quite some time. However, gouache is, although similar to watercolors, it does have other properties that makes it really fun to use. So whereas watercolor is transparent, gouache has the ability to be very opaque. So that is the main thing about gouache that I really enjoy. You can water it down and use it like watercolor, but you can also use it in an opaque manner, similar to acrylic. However, it is not shiny in the way acrylic dries. It dries matte. So I really, really love gouache now that I've tried it. So another interesting indicator is the light fastness of the paint, and that just means basically how susceptible it is to fading when it's exposed to light. And I think that is not as important to me as the transparency, because I think it's important to realize the context that you use your art supplies. So as a journaling artist, as someone who primarily works in sketchbooks and journals for memory keeping, light fastness is not really important to me because I usually keep them in books. If you're an artist that displays your work in a gallery or on the wall, I would say that light fastness is really, really important. But as you can see, most of the colors are pretty light fast according to this indicator. So the 3 pluses, they kind of dominate all the colors here. If you are an artist that wants to display your artwork, you might want to go with an artist's grade gouache, really, really high quality paints. Now, if you're not looking to do that and you're more like me, where you just want to practice, you primarily work in sketchbooks and journals for your own personal art journey, then I would say these gouache colors are awesome. The thing I love about gouache is that you can layer lighter colors over darker colors, and because it's opaque, it's a lot easier to add highlights to your images. So with watercolor, you'd have to preserve your light areas, and you could use a resist to do that, or you would have to kind of carefully paint around the light areas. But with gouache, you can just simply let the layer beneath it dry, and then you can use a lighter color and go right on top. However, you can still get a really beautiful, delicate look that is very similar to watercolors, how the colors flow across the page with gouache. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. The sketchbook paper held up really well. The watercolor paper here is quite nice, and I didn't really mind that Some of the pages are a little bit more textured than others. The back of the paper I didn't use today, but I think I can because it didn't really warp very much at all. Of course, I didn't add too much water in my application of gouache today. Watercolor, I don't know, it might be a little different. I might use that in a future video to show you the difference with a heavier water application. But overall, I'm really satisfied with my experience using the watercolor paper. Alright everyone, that is it for my Arteza gouache painting session. I hope you enjoyed it. And until the next video, I wish you happy art making, happy journaling, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.